the whole sect by playing badly. Chapter 13, The First Confrontation with the Heartthrob Heroine. It's from the 5 great sects. Envy. That's Yue Qingzong's newly recruited junior sister. She is indeed the star of the moon. Hey. This is the first time I see a live direct disciple. Forget it. Don't you see that her senior brothers are surrounding her like an eyeball? We can't afford to offend her. Let's stay away. Yi Qiao heard the discussion in the crowd and looked over on tiptoe. The light blue dress is embroidered with the unique name of the person, which is very cool and eye-catching. She hurriedly poked Mu Chongxi, who was watching the excitement, and caught Yun Qiu's figure at a glance. Did you see that girl? Among the male supporting roles in the novel, Mu Chongxi was the one who fell the fastest. These 2 idiots had no mind and were played by the heroine. It may be that Yun Qiu felt that it would be more fulfilling to destroy a Tianzhao who was born with sword bones, and Mu Chongxi was miserably abused later. Yi Qiao sympathized with this little milk dog more than once when she read the novel. Mu Chongxi subconsciously looked in the direction she pointed. Blue dress, still a woman. What's wrong? Yi Qiao drew out the mysterious sword at her waist, raised her chin, and said with clear eyes, 4th senior brother. Have you ever heard a word? What? Mu Chongxi was a little confused when Yi Qiao called her senior brother for the first time. Without a woman in my heart, draw a sword and be a god. The first page of the sword manual. Cut off the person you like first. She pointed in the direction of Yun Qiu, with a deep expression on her face. Kill. Mu Chongxi. Crazy is this? He pressed Yi Qiao's head speechlessly. Stop talking nonsense, hurry up Yi Qiao. If you don't go to the inn, the rooms will be robbed. The Yunzhongcheng Inn is quite good at raising prices on the ground. The later you come, the more expensive it will be. Yi Qiao withdrew her sword instantly. What? Then why are you still standing there? Rush inside. She has no money. After squeezing in, the 4 of them found a place to stand. Yi Qiao was protected in the middle, and the senior brothers were considerate enough to prevent her from being squeezed. Yun Qiu, who was surrounded by stars, raised his eyes as if looking for something, and looked directly in Yi Qiao's direction. Then he was slightly lost in thought. Senior sister Yi Qiao. Do not. In her impression, Yi Qiao was always quiet, dull and inconspicuous. If I had to use an analogy, when she saw Yi Qiao at that time, she felt that Yi Qiao was very pitiful. He was obviously a disciple of the fairy sect, but he turned out to be like a dusty and inconspicuous sparrow. Instead of today, when the girl draws her sword into the sheath, she has unprecedented freshness and agility. But the appearance of the other party is indeed senior sister Yi Qiao. With some tentative and inexplicable thoughts, Yun Qiu took the initiative to step forward. I wonder which sect's junior sister this fellow Taoist is. Yi Qiao, who was discussing with Mu Chongxi which room would be cheaper to sleep tonight, heard the voice, raised her head, and glanced at her casually. She looks so pretty. Under Yun Qiu's direct gaze, Yi Qiao's expression remained unchanged. It's a small sect, it's not worth mentioning. Yun Qiu heard her perfunctory, and pursed the corners of her lips, feeling inexplicably aggrieved. As soon as she opened her mouth, she was interrupted by a voice. Junior sister. The boy in light blue clothes said softly, let's go. Yun Qiu could only shut up. After the 2 left, Mingxun rubbed his chin thoughtfully. That little girl is the one newly recruited by Yu Qingzong. It is said that she is a genius with the highest quality water spirit root. Yes, but who is that person next to her? He can pretend better than you. Mu Chongxi asked curiously. Mingxun's temple twitched, and he endured it. He is the chief direct disciple of Yu Qingzong. Those who are at the same level as our senior brother will naturally be more proud. Yi Qiao thought to herself. That was a miscalculation. The chief personal biography has come, but she didn't call the senior brother. When the time comes to fight for Lingxi, I won't have the advantage here. On the other side, several members of Yue Kingzong were also discussing. The 4 people just now, 2 golden pills, 1 half-step golden pill, and the remaining one is a little girl who is practicing qi. Yun Qiu pursed his lips subconsciously when he heard what his senior brother said. There are so many Jindan disciples. Are the personal heirs from any great sect here? Jindan. That girl, is the senior brother beside her actually cultivated so high? They are all junior sisters in the sect, so Yun Qiu will inevitably have a feeling of comparison. Fellow Taoists, the owner of the inn said loudly at this time, the other rooms are already full, and now only the first room is left. Everyone in Yuqingzong didn't have any special reaction. They're direct disciples, so they will naturally live in the upper house. Only the upper house is worthy of their status. However, Mu Chongxi jumped up and said loudly, 100 top-grade spirit stones, where is this black shop? Zhu Yu covered his face. Ming Xuan, who never dealt with him, also elbowed him. You are so shameful. May I ask which family will pass on this virtue? Is this a change from Yi Qiao? When the senior brother next to Yunk heard this, he took the lead in disdain and sneered, okay. Don't think too much about it. If you are so poor, what kind of big sect can't pass it on? I think it might be a few hundred years old. I just arrived at Jindan's casual cultivator. Yes. Which family would be so embarrassing? After knowing that the other party was not doing as well as he did, Yun Qiu was inexplicably relieved. Left previous home in